Okay, so the first scene in Don't Blink, she's learning about the King, Slater King guy. I had to pause it and go look some stuff up because the guy replacing his name is Vic Mahoney. And I was like, is that Jewish? That's why I gotta stay off Instagram, guys. Don't go on Instagram too much. I was 100% sure that was a Jewish name. I thought they were trying to tell us something. So Slater King, in an effort to redeem himself, got an island, which is not something, you know, if a sexual predator told me I'm gonna get an island or there's not gonna be any work, but he was in charge of all the resources, I'm not sure I'd really be confident in that island. Also, he said there's no work, which again, farming is work. And I'm sure if someone just went there and didn't farm, he'd be fucking pissed about it. But maybe he has workers doing everything. I mean, it's work. There's no way it's not work. There's gonna be someone working. So there's two girls and their roommates. There's a black girl and a white girl. I can't remember their names. The movie just started. They probably just said their names. I forgot them. But one of them works as a waitress. The black girl works as a waitress at the gala. And they're like, oh, it's the most important tech event in the year. Could you not be chatty like last year? And I'm like, he's bringing this up like a year later. Like, who the fuck does that? You should have brought that up in the moment. You dumb fuck. I don't know. That just seems stupid to me. Imagine you did something wrong like 6 years ago and your boss was like, don't make this mistake again. You showed up late, October 1st, 2019. It's a wrap, brother. I can't explain this, but these girls in the movie are supposed to be like sex trafficked, but they both have short hair. And I just imagine that being something associated with long-haired girls. We'll see if their hair grows out. I called it. That's a pretty good prediction. So already in the movie, they crash a museum art gallery, and this bitch, Frida, she's the black one, can't manage to walk in a fucking straight line, and just crashes her shit like you had to just not make a scene. That's the whole point of crashing a place you don't belong. Already, I don't like them. At least I don't like either one of them, honestly. I'm sure this will continue. Channing Tatum, Slater King helps Frida to her feet. It reminds me, uh, there's like a statue of Abraham Lincoln, and there's like a slave under like the U.S. flag that Abraham Lincoln's carrying, and he's like protecting the slave. I'm getting the same vibe as that. So I don't know if the movie's trying to be racist or, I mean, the statue's not racist, but still, you get what I'm saying. It's it's a funny comparison, I think. So Slater King introduced them to everybody at the party or everybody he knows, which I don't know why he did that. That seems kind of pointless. Like in the context of the movie, they just want to. Well, in the context of our world, they want to like just introduce everybody, which I'm sure most of these people won't matter, or if they do matter, they'll just kind of be his cronies, so they could have cut that scene. And on top of that, I mean, that's just not. I mean, for what? Why are you introducing him to all these people? He's not gonna. They're not gonna go individually talk back to any of them. You know what I mean? It's just kind of a pointless scene. So there's a big party. Slater and I forgot her name, the black girl, talked, and the black girl doesn't have any game. She didn't get his number, but now there's a party. He's inviting her to it. Honestly, she doesn't deserve him. Like, put a little effort down, bitch. Damn. This guy's a fucking billionaire. I mean, you could try. He's a fucking billionaire. God damn, ask for his number or something. I'm already seeing some problems. So they get invited to the party. I think it's at an island, or at the island he was talking about. Bitch, I mean, you guys are just struggling to make rent. Go get a job. But whatever. I'd probably take the offer too. It looks fun. It's an island with some weirdo who seemingly got convicted of a previous crime and didn't want to talk about it, and is on a redemption arc. So, I mean, if you wanted to go on that island with Diddy, I'd probably go personally, but I feel like most girls wouldn't go. So in the movie, apparently there's a housekeeper with dementia. If she doesn't have dementia, she's generally just stupid. Because if she's trying to warn them, and she's the villain trying to warn them, that's stupid. If she's a good guy trying to warn them, and she's like Red Rabbit, like, come on now. You thought that was gonna work, really? You should have just said that shit in Spanish and gave it your best shot. But she probably doesn't speak English. But you know what's crazy, man? Like on the island, he has Mexicans working for him, which is just what? Why do you have Mexicans on the island? I feel like you could have got literally anybody to do it. But I don't know why you would specifically get Mexicans. I don't think it really makes sense to go out of your way to get Mexicans. Because I feel like he could just pay somebody a reasonable wage. Because he's a billionaire. But yeah, you remember he was like, nobody works here. Like, okay, boy. So Frida, she's the black chick. I forgot her name. I remember. Well, they say it again. But she's like looking up at King, Channing Tatum from a pool. And she's in love with him and all that. And then this bitch comes down from like a literal coconut tree, and she takes a knife and slice opens the coconut, which is I think that's literally physically impossible to do. She just like, I don't give a fuck if it was like a diamond knife. She just casually slices that shit open like an apple. I'm pretty sure you can't break open a coconut like that, bro. I remember we had coconut once and we fucking tried our hardest to crack that shit open. It's not something you just crack open with a knife. Mind you, it's the whole coconut, like in the shell too, and she just cracks it open. So yeah, I think Frida should sit this one out if this bitch has little superpowers. But like also, Frida, do you want to go have sex with him or something? Like, bitch, she brought you to an island, and I don't know what her game plan is. Like, just keep waiting for him to make the move. You do something. He brought you to a fucking island, bro. I mean, do something. So basically, Slater King is kind of supposed to be a stand-in for Diddy Elon Musk mix. Because she said the parties are supposed to be like legendary parties with drugs and debauchery. And I'm just like, you still haven't even hit yet? You're planning to go on one of those parties and oh my god, Frida, make a move. So we just discovered Frida's stupid. This guy's telling her about his therapy, and he's like, I'm working to get rid of my or to work on my repressed memories. And she says, what can't you remember? I wonder. I'm a fucking dumb bitch. So the girls it was a mixture of psilocybin and MDMA, which I don't think is a good combination. I think those are pretty different. But one of the girls, Frida, realized her outfit got changed. Which, I mean, if you're like high enough, someone could physically dress you and undress you. Couldn't you just be high enough that you changed it yourself? But maybe not, because I don't think they have any actual outfits. I think it gets laid out for them. But I could be wrong on that. But I assume it just gets laid out for them, so they would know. But if you were gonna rape them, why would you get like new clothes for them? Why wouldn't you just use the same old clothes? Maybe they got ripped up or something. I don't know. I don't know how long they've been on the island. But like, for one, I mean, if a girl is willing to take like Molly on an island you own, I think she'd probably be willing to smash. You don't really have to trick her for that, but maybe he's doing some weird shit that they normally wouldn't do. And two, Molly and especially shrooms, the tolerance builds up quick. But you can't take them like in a day within each other. you really can't take them within a week with each other. You usually have to wait like 2 weeks. So, yeah, I don't think these people know drugs that well. Especially someone who's done a lot of shrooms. The last thing I want to do is fuck somebody. I want you not to touch me. I want you to get the fuck out of the room when I'm on shrooms. I don't know who would do shrooms and be like, oh, I can't wait to fuck something or be touched. Trust me, the last thing you want to do is be touched by anybody. Now, the Molly's different, but I don't. That's what I'm saying. They counteract each other. There should be. I feel like neither. I feel like the producers or writers haven't tried Molly or psilocybin, or maybe they just tried. I don't know. That's a weird combo. I know people do it, but I don't. I don't think it's that common of a combo. So the days are starting to blend, and they don't remember what day it is or how long they've been there, which, you know, Frida still hasn't had sex with this guy. I mean, if it's been over a week, girl, it's just not happening. I feel like you lost. You're just his friend at this point. Frida asked when we're leaving. He said whenever you want, and she said that's not an answer. Bitch, this is basically his house. I mean, he lives there, so he can stay forever. And he's telling you have the choice to leave whenever you want. So it essentially is an answer. You can say, I want to leave right now and put it to the test. Obviously, it's a horror movie, so she'll probably stay. My point is that, I mean, it pretty much is an answer. I can't really pinpoint an exact scene, but I feel like it's worth noting that Frida doesn't really have a lot of game in the movie. Like, I think she's cute, like adorable. Like, I don't really want to have sex with her. She seems awkward. It's sad, man. They're all dancing. And then there's a fat guy, a fat actor, who clearly wanted to keep his shirt on. So, yeah, that's pretty sad. So, they mentioned there's a snake problem on this island. How big is this island? Because I feel like it shouldn't be too much an issue. Because, I mean, it looks like a small island. I can't imagine there'd be a lot of snakes. Just given the fact that, I mean, it's a small island, there wouldn't be a lot of prey. And he came in and destroyed a good portion of the island, building his house and all that. Well, I guess they could be eating his chickens and stuff. But I feel like, I mean, I guess it would make somewhat sense. There would be more snakes because of the chickens. Seems unlikely, though. So the old Mexican woman that keeps trying to warn her keeps saying Red Rabbit. Oh my God, girl. Do charades or something. Also, it seems like the perfume is what's causing her to get high and hallucinate. That would be my guess. They really shouldn't have re-showed it. I feel like it'd have been better and more subtle if they didn't keep alluding to it, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's a red herring and the flowers are the real thing causing it. It could be either or. I think it would make more sense for it to be the perfume, but there's no guarantee she'd fuck the perfume. There's no guarantee she'd fuck with the flowers, but I don't know. Let's keep watching. So now they lost Jess, the white girl, and nobody remembers who she is. And so Frida goes to the assistant. She's like, "Where's Jess?" She was in the room next to mine. She was like, "Oh, you mean the storage room?" I would have killed her right there for gaslighting me. I would have beat the shit out. I'm tired of shit right now. I'm fucking furious she said that shit. Fuck that bitch. I hope she dies in this movie. Also worth mentioning, we're almost an hour into this movie and have not seen a titty once. So, I mean, it's supposed to be about a Diddy party. I'm almost sure it's rated R, so that's more than a little disappointing. So, the girls are starting to figure out that they're under my control. I mean, they're not exactly making a lot of sense. Sarah fell from a tree and got a bruise. That's a story she can't wrap her head around. Even though if you're high on Molly and psilocybin, falling from a tree is definitely not crazy. And they're saying the only crazy things we got on a plane for a bunch of guys we don't know. I agree. That is kind of crazy. But it was kind of implied he knew all of them, at least to some extent. So that is kind of weird. But also, yeah, that was. I mean, it's most people would go to a Diddy party. Being honest, right now, I would go. Shout out Diddy. In 16 years, when you're out, come hit me up. Oh, okay. So they didn't all know each other, but they are fangirls. So it's definitely not crazy to think they would get on a plane. I mean, it's on them a bit, I feel like, but whatever. But it's weird that none of the guys are victims too. Because there's one guy who you'd have to watch the movie. There's probably about two of these guys on here who would definitely, they would definitely be a part of getting raped and not the rapers. I feel like it's a chubby guy and a boy. He looks like a girl boy. So they decide to give the snake venom to the older assistant, who I don't feel like would be getting raped. I don't know. That's me personally. So they figured out snake venom brings back the memories, and they figured they need to call the police. First of all, they're on an island, so I don't think calling the police would really help. But also, they were like, no one's gonna believe us, and they kind of like, I wish they would just believe women kind of thing. And it's like, you told another girl this, and she immediately thought you were fucking lying, and this was a stupid story. So, I mean, is she's like hashtag believe women, but they won't. I'm like, well, yeah, you don't remember anything or know how you're getting drugged or really have an understanding of what's going on to you right now, and you have a hazy and no one else remembers your friend, and your evidence is you had dirt in your nails, you were running around outside, and the other one's girl evidence is she fell out of a tree. So it's just really, who would believe that because you remember doing drugs and climbing trees and running around. But I mean, if you were really high on all that shit, you wouldn't remember the little details. Damn, they killed the Jess girl, snapped her neck. Wild type shit. Crazy. These girls not have family or anything? I feel like somebody would mention them go missing. But I guess, like, if someone goes missing, you're not just gonna go check a millionaire's island. So yeah, fair point. But Jess is dead. I feel like it's also worth noting. I'm not saying the new girl is more attractive, but I feel like if you see the movie, most of you would think that. I'm just saying they killed the less attractive female. The producers did. So yeah, something worth to consider, I think. Sexism. So they show what they do to the girls, and they're basically like brutally raping them and torturing them. Which, I mean, okay, they would forget, but they would have worse bruises than they got shown so far. And they all would have bruises, probably rope burn. And they should all be pretty physically fatigued, just given what they're going through. And like have obvious rope burn cuts, because obviously they're gonna struggle to get out. And they're all panicking and in pain. So, kind of you know, plot hole. That's the word I was looking for. But overall, it's been a pretty good movie. I'm hoping soon it gets revealed why they used Mexicans as servers here. I'm still not understanding that like point. I guess maybe they could be Samoans. They don't look Samoan to me. I'm pretty sure the Hispanic, Northern, Central America type. Central Americans. So, yeah, I don't know why he would use. I don't know. That's weird. Oh, because they're undocumented. I guess. But I feel like if you trapped them there, they would probably just kill you. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. So the girls are getting their memories back. One girl killed somebody. Yay, I love it. I'm not gonna lie, I love the scene. The guy had it coming. The all rapist. But another guy is just running away from a girl. You're a grown man, son. She physically should not be able to overpower you. I haven't described these women on this, but they're about 100 pounds. This is a normal sized man. If this was like a man who was 50 pounds smaller than a normal man, he should be able to take this girl in a fight. She should like not be a physical threat to him at all. So I kind of feel like a woman wrote this, but I don't know. I'll check. Yes, a woman did write this. Uh, Realistically, if you're gonna beat a guy in a fight, you're gonna have to get pretty creative. I mean, if you're super skilled, sure. If you like know some shit and he doesn't, okay. But you'd have to be really well trained, I think, like a year of training to probably beat a guy for this size difference. Also, the woman was acting, Sarah was acting like nice to the boyfriend, which should have been the first red flag because, yeah, she was being a bitch to him the whole trip. And she was trying to sleep with Channing Tatum. So, I mean, I guess they wouldn't pick up on that. They're rapists, but still, that should have been the first red flag. And they're still, I mean, I guess the guys don't understand. Well, no, they chase these girls down every night. They should be able to physically overpower them. They should know that. Oh, you think they had the Mexicans do it? God damn, bro. Fucking lazy. But no, we seen the fat dude chase the girl down. Damn, bro. She should have been able to get away from him. He was fat. So, I just don't think they were thinking about the physicality of the characters when they made this movie. Okay, my fault. I was like, they're not really making it clear how they even captured these girls in the first place. But then the old guy with the gun came out. So I guess it made it a little bit more clear now. I thought the Mexicans were helping him, but the old guy, he had a gun. Why'd they snap that chick's neck with his bare hands? Channing Tatum was on some shit, bro. They're like, he's like, I got a gun right here. He's like, don't need it. Cracked her fucking neck. Niggas wildin', bro. They just killed the. They just killed the assistant for going through a traumatic breakdown. Frida did. Crazy bitch. Nah, I'm kidding. It's because she didn't want to remember what happened to her. You think she would place the anger somewhere else, but no. Because clearly these guys clearly cannot defend themselves, except for Channing Tatum. Like, I don't. You could have picked better guys for this. The fat, chubby guy and the femboy, okay. But the other dude, he should be able to physically overpower. I don't. He's a muscular dude. So they're getting mad. So Channing Tatum's telling the femboy he did nothing, like he just watched. It kind of seemed like he was gonna help, but they beat the shit out of him. Like, they legit did beat the shit out of him. He does have a black eye. So, like, this, like, you see the guy, he's clearly more estrogen focused. So he's he's clearly high estrogen. So, I mean, it's not, what would he do exactly? I mean, realistically, these guys couldn't stop 100-pound blonde girl. So I think he could probably, if he was just aggressive, like, stop, they would. But he's estrogen focused, bro. I'm not even, look him up. Maybe I'll try to put him in the video, but I'll try to remember 24-minute mark, put a picture of this guy in the video. But yeah, he's definitely estrogen focused. So the girls are like trying to figure out what the next thing to do is. The two girls that escaped, Sarah and Frida. So Frida pulls out a knife. She's like, let's go talk to the guys. First of all, where are the Mexicans in this? The Mexicans have just disappeared. I don't know where the fuck they're at. And I hope they don't only have one gun on the island, because the Vic dude should have been in charge of the whole place. I mean, shit. And then, like, Frida picks up a knife, like, to do something? For what? The other girl has a gun. She... What the fuck? She has a gun. So the high estrogen guy tried to come out and, I guess, save them? I think he was going to save them, but he got shot in the head. Because he was trying to redeem himself for doing nothing. Women hate high estrogen men. If you're a high estrogen man, just go be gay. Don't even start, like, trying to be a feminist or something, bro. They hate you. Just go be gay. If you don't like being a high estrogen man, go take testosterone. But there's nothing wrong with being a high estrogen man, bro. I'm in a high estrogen phase right now. I'm just super fat, but I still have so much muscle because I'm still high testosterone, regardless of anything. But there's high estrogen men in my audience. So yeah, I hope to one day have an audience. Frida tried to go in there after they shot the high estrogen male with the knife and stabbed Channing Tatum to death. Honestly, she got captured and she got what she deserved. Like, bitch, he was the only guy who would actually fight back. You should have saved the knife for, like, his peons or whatever. The knife on him was the worst option. He's not beating a gun, but a knife. They shot the femboy. I think they could have just, like, legit put their hand on that nigga's chest against the wall and be like, don't move. And the femboy be like, you got me. Please don't hurt me. They wasted that bullet. And the gun, which is, looks like a Glock or maybe a Beretta, either one of those should hold in 17. So I don't know if she just shot a few shots in the air while she was having fun, or Vic just never reloaded his gun for whatever reason. But I don't know how they're already out of bullets. And maybe I'm not being clear. Like, he never reloaded it ever. Because if this was like the third trip to come by and he shot each girl one time with a singular bullet, which we know Channing does not let happen because he fucking will grab them by the neck and just break their fucking neck like nothing. So, yeah. I don't know how she's out of bullets already. They could have just given her a revolver. I guarantee the chick that wrote this movie doesn't know about guns. Or maybe she does. She might. I don't want to sound sexist. You know, she doesn't. She picked the wrong gun if she did. She could have just, even a revolver. There was no reason not to have more bullets. Okay, they've been there a while. That was a pretty big plot twist. Apparently the girl was there enough time for her head to scar. Like, she fell on a rock and then she got a scar, which they mentioned at the beginning of the movie. And that's how long she's been there for. Enough time for an actual scar to form. Pretty good plot twist. I liked it. Okay, so apparently, I think, I could be confused on it, they went to the island last year and they all forgot, which I don't know how they would, one, pay rent. Maybe they weren't there that long, but they had to be there a pretty significant amount of time. And I don't get, I mean, they didn't have the drugs on him at the gala, so she would remember meeting him and talking to him and going on his plane. But then it's just a blank. So I feel like that's kind of a plot hole. She ran out of bullets again. And I feel like it's worth mentioning. She probably shot like 10, 15 bullets. Where are the Mexicans at? Where the fuck are these Mexican guys at? They just disappeared. They never seen again. What the fuck? So the evil Mexican lady that only knows Red Rabbit showed up. I want you to think if you know how to say Red Rabbit in Spanish, and do you know how to say help, or go get help, or danger? Like, I don't know why this bitch was there. She, I feel like, didn't really add anything to the movie. And again, these Mexicans just keep appearing and disappearing out of nowhere. So she beat the guy by making him vape the forget stuff. Which, that was her plan? To just hope that he vapes before he kills her? And then, like, what? He would just be confused until he ran out of vape juice. So I don't really get what her exact plan was. Because, I mean, it's just kind of stupid. I guess he said he wasn't going to kill her, but it just doesn't make any sense. So the end of the movie, Channing Tatum's like a mental midget, and she's abusing him, and got him to sign, well, not sign his company over, but she's CEO of the company, which would really drop the stock prices. And Channing Tatum stepped away from being CEO, so it seems like it's a public company. And if it's a public company, then they're just not gonna let some random chick be CEO, because it seems like Channing Tatum got pressured not to be CEO. And okay, let's say he just did that for publicity. At the end of the day, I mean, this company will like lose stock. Who the fuck is this lady they just made CEO? They're not gonna be just like, oh, she's just cool mystery chick, bro. They're gonna straight up get out of the company. And I mean, how did she get the stuff that drug Channing and make it? I mean, I guess she could keep asking him, but and no, the Mexicans, they don't explain where the Mexicans go. The Mexicans go into the fucking shadows at night and are never seen again. I don't get what the fuck the Mexicans are doing in the story. I mean, what? Why were they there? It's a secluded island? Why does he have Mexicans working for him? One. Two, why doesn't this lady speak English? Three, if you were like, oh, we got Hispanic people working there because they speak Spanish and the girls don't. Spanish is like the second most popular language, like I think in the world, I think globally, and also definitely in America. Most people speak some Spanish. If they're Samoan, they didn't look Samoan to me. I don't think they look Samoan. And again, who just knows Red Rabbit? I guess she was supposed to, like, we talking about the perfume. That was stupid. How is she CEO of the company? How did Frida become CEO of the company? And then Channing Tatum's like retarded now too, which wasn't really a thing, because I don't think the perfume made you instantly retarded. But he's like super retarded. Wouldn't people be concerned he has dementia? They would immediately look at him saying, oh, I don't know where I'm at right now. So I don't know. And why would snake venom be the one thing to counteract it? Why would it just have to be the one thing counteracting and they're on an island full of that stuff? And who the fuck was this Mexican lady? And where were the fucking Mexicans? I guess you could say they heard all the gun. They're like used to hearing that shit not coming out of their house. Where the fuck were they going? I don't know, bro. I feel like more Mexicans would interrogate that. I feel like somebody wouldn't. He had a whole fucking thing of Mexicans. Overall, pretty good movie, but yeah, where are these Mexicans coming from?